In this video, I'm going to be giving you an overview of this Apple iBook G3 clamshell. Now, this isn't any normal iBook G3 clamshell. This machine has actually been heavily modded. Now, before I begin with the details, this is actually not my machine. This machine belongs to Greg Rutke of Rutke Mods. He has a YouTube channel, which I will put a link to in the description of this video. And he actually sent me this machine to perform these modifications that I will give you an overview of right now. So the main modification made to this machine is that the original PowerPC G3 CPU has been upgraded to a PowerPC G4 CPU, or PowerPC 7410, that I got off of a another PowerBook G4 Titanium 500 MHz logic board. So with that, I'll begin with the overview of this machine. So if we go ahead and open it here, you will already begin to see some of the modifications that have been made. So you can see here that the internal shield has been removed from the machine, and that was done to make room for the cooling fan and heatsink, which you can see right there. Now, of course, with a G4 CPU installed, it is necessary to have extra cooling, as the original cooling, which is literally nothing except the EMI shield, is not enough to cool the G4 CPU, especially when it's running at its stock 500 MHz clock speed. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to make a video while I was actually doing these modifications. However, I did take quite a few pictures, which I'll go over right now and narrate over, so you can kind of get an idea of what went on with this machine. Alrighty, so right here you can see the original PowerPC G4 CPU that's still on the PowerBook G4 Titanium logic board. Now, of course, I haven't started the process here, but that machine was actually one that I found a long time ago in a dumpster, and I sent it to a friend for a while, and unfortunately it broke while he had it. The screen just completely snapped off, the hinges locked up, and then the screen snapped off. So unfortunately that machine wasn't worth repairing, but we will be using the CPU for this modification. Alright, so right here you can see the BGA rework setup I've got right there. So right there you can see that we've got the PowerBook G4 logic board on it, and I was about to remove the CPU in this picture. And here's the CPU after removing it from the board. Alright, so you can see in this picture that I've gotten the chip all ready to be reballed. You can see I've got a BGA stencil on there. It's taped to a piece of metal here so it doesn't, melt a table or something. And then we'll begin. Then I will begin putting the solder balls in the little holes on the stencil, and then we'll heat it up, and the chip will be reballed. Alright, so as you can see in this picture, the reballing process was successful. So the next step is to solder it onto the logic board of the iBook G3 clamshell after removing the original G3 CPU. Alright, in this picture I am beginning to heat the G3 CPU on the clamshell logic board, and I'm preparing to remove it. Alright, you can see here that I have removed the G3 CPU successfully without ripping up any pads, which is always good. And yeah, so now we'll begin the process of cleaning the pads and soldering the new chip on. Alright, so you can see here that the pads have been successfully cleaned, and now we will be able to solder the CPU on. Alright, in this picture you can see that the CPU has been successfully soldered onto the board. You can see it is still covered with flux in this picture, but yeah, it's soldered on just fine, and then I'll go ahead and clean the flux and we will begin testing it. Alright, so you can see in this picture that the CPU has been cleaned, and it is now, the logic board is now installed mostly in the machine. So you can see the little part of the EMI shield that had to be cut away to allow the heatsink to fit on. Alright, so here's a little bit of a shot with the cooling system installed. So you can see that the heatsink is actually made from a MacBook 4.1 heatsink. And it actually works really well for this. You you basically just fold over the fin part of it there, and it lines up perfectly with the back of the machine there, and it fits right in the middle there. So the fan is actually powered from the ADB header, which is towards the back of the logic board there, and I had to put a resistor in line with it to keep it from spinning at a ridiculously fast and loud speed. So in the next clip of this video, you'll see that the fan is still a little bit noisy, but it is much quieter than it was initially. Alright, so now that you can see kind of what went into the modifications of this machine, now I will go ahead and plug it in and boot it up. Now, Greg was nice enough to install a few copies of OS X on the disk already. So we have a copy of 10.4 Tiger, a copy of 10.5.8 Leopard, and a copy of Mac OS 9. So I've got my yo-yo power supply here, so go ahead and plug the machine in. Go ahead and wait a little bit for the light to turn orange, which is when we can turn it on. So you can see it is orange now, so go ahead and power it on. So you can hear that the fan is a little bit noisy there, but it's definitely a lot less noisy than it was initially. Now the reason I think it's buzzing like this is just because the bearings in the fan are just need a little bit of oil, but as it's on, it will get a bit quieter. So right now it is booting into Mac OS 10.4 Tiger. So once it boots up, we'll go ahead and take a look at the system specs so I can show you what it looks like. See if I can quiet down that fan a little bit. Yeah, so the fan is a little bit, it's making a buzzing sound right now, but normally it doesn't once it's been on for a little bit. So once the system boots up, there it goes, it's already booted up. Oh, it's booting into Leopard actually. Forgot I had set that as the startup disk. Yeah, as you can see, it is running Leopard right now. So once this finishes loading, we'll go ahead and take a look at about this Mac and System Profiler. And yes, the battery is dead, so it will not keep the PRAM or date and time settings. Alright, so there we go. You can see the fan quieted down a bit there. Alright, so you can see that this machine has a 500 MHz PowerPC G4 CPU installed. It's got the max of 576 megabytes of RAM, which is quite unfortunate that these have that onboard 64 megs of RAM, so you can't really upgrade it past 576 megs. But yeah, as you can see, everything is detected properly and it is working. So we can go into graphics and displays. You can see that it has the ATI Rage Mobility, which is a very poor card for running Leopard. You can see that the animations are abysmally laggy. So yeah. But yeah, it works really well. It runs nice and cool with this fan and heatsink mod. No problems with thermals. I have ran Geekbench and some other intensive programs, and it hasn't had any problems. So yeah, you can see these stacks are just ridiculously laggy. But I mean, that's what you expect with a machine from 1999 and a graphics card from 1999 running this modern and operating system. So we can go ahead and set the startup disk to OS 9, and I'll go ahead and show you that as well. Now you can see it is actually surprisingly usable here. And oh, there's the OS 9 disk. So with that selected, go ahead and reboot. So as you can see, the fan has quieted down quite a bit there. And it isn't really loud at all now. I think just oiling the bearings a little bit will solve the initial buzzing sound it makes when it hasn't been on in a while. So yeah, as you can see, the machine is now booting macOS 9.2. See, it has the default Blueberry clamshell wallpaper enabled there. And of course the time is incorrect. Alright, so as you can see, the machine has booted into OS 9, so go ahead and go into About This Mac, About This Computer I should say. See, it's got 576 megs detected, of course, as you would expect. We'll hop into Apple System Profiler, and it too detects it as a 500 megahertz PowerPC G4 CPU. So, that has been the overview of this, or actually one thing I wanted to show you before I end this video is this program called Gauge Pro. Now, as you can see, it does actually give a CPU temperature right here, but this temperature is highly inaccurate. And why I think that is because A, it sits at 70 degrees and never fluctuates at all, and B, it is definitely not running at 70 degrees. I mean, I can just feel the heatsink and tell that it is not running anywhere close to being that hot. As you can see, for some reason it says the CPU speed is at 521 megahertz. So I'm not sure what that's about, but needless to say, it runs just fine. It's definitely not running at 70 degrees. Yeah. So anyway, that has been the overview of this highly modified Apple iBook G3 Clamshell. So I'll go ahead and shut it down here. So yeah, there is the system. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Alright, so just one final note here. Like I said, if you want to go check out more of this machine and more videos of it, please go ahead and check out Greg Rutke's Rutke Mods channel. He does a lot of cool stuff with vintage PowerPC Macs, and you definitely will be seeing quite a few more videos of this machine. So yeah, I'm sure he's going to do quite a few more experiments with it, maybe software experiments or even more hardware modifications. So yeah, I would highly recommend that you go check out his channel if you want to see more about Macs and more about this machine. So, hope you enjoyed this video.